My name's Jared Capillari. I'm a good friend of Steve Kerr's, and I'm in town for the comic convention. I used to collect comics when I was like 10 or 12. My older brother had them, so I had them laying around before I had to go out and find them for myself. It's all storytelling, you know, it's just like reading a good book. It's all that fantasy, being able to, you know, leave your ordinary life and be able to experience something extraordinary. It's just, yeah, it's just quality entertainment. This is actually my third convention. I went to WonderCon. It was in San Francisco in, I think it was the beginning of April. And then I also went to San Diego Comic-Con, which is obviously in San Diego, and that's their biggest convention of the year. Coincidentally, they usually do it right before, you know, the big movie season. So, you know, a lot of movie stars and television stars and whatnot. Comic-Con really does a lot with bringing people to a place and, you know, bringing money to a city. The cities are always thankful and gracious and, you know, give up their time and money. Hundreds of thousands of people come to town, and, you know, people in the subway talk to people. What are people dressed up for? It's Comic-Con. Comics are still out there, and that's what Comic-Con International is, you know, there to tell you. What I do like about New York Comic Con is a lot of people work in the industry in New York City. When you get to meet them in person, you get to talk to them, you get to genuinely tell them how much you appreciate what they do. They appreciate that, we appreciate that, and, you know, that's what these conventions are all about, really.
Hi.
How you doing?
What's your name?
Jared.
Jared?
Nice to meet you, sir. Yeah, that was awesome. I got to meet one of my favorite artists, really, in comics. Greg Capullo is his name. He's great. He was involved in the original Spawn series, drawing it. He's working on Batman right now. It was funny. He was talking about how he had a, you know, job offer from Marvel at the same time when he was trying to decide whether he wanted to do Batman. And even when he went to Marvel and was like, well, I got offered Batman, you know, Marvel was like, well, you know, he's the one guy we can't beat, so we can't hold it against you. And, you know, it's that type of interaction that really makes the whole Comic-Con experience worthwhile, because, you know, just candid conversation. The cool thing about comic book fans are, you know, they really see these characters as their own. So when they get to, you know, talk to the people who are creating, you know, their character, they are real emotional about it, and that's why they dress up as them, and that's why, you know, they spend the money to come to these conventions and fly around the country to meet the people who are creating, you know, their character. Geeking out on something is definitely a term that, you know, people are using for something they're passionate about. It seems so weird because I would say a generation ago it would have been almost the exact opposite. There's more and more video games and movies and, you know, art and all things related. It's all about having a good time. It's all about promoting the industry and the media. It's just super cool to meet the people who are, you know, creating something so near and dear to your heart. Go to your comic book shop, check out what's on the wall. Doesn't matter what comic book shop you go to, there's always people in there willing to talk your ear off about comic books. So if you have any questions, you know, ask away, don't be afraid. If it sounds interesting, you should look into it. And, you know, if you're adverse to it, maybe you should take a step back and, you know, see what really entertains you and be honest with yourself and just go for it.